Butcher Banton and dancing DJ Cat.
Kaboom! DJ Cat, connect!
Locked in once again to Entertainment Weekly. This is yours truly, DJ Cat. Now, mostly you're used to hearing me interviewing artists and producers and people in other aspects of entertainment. Well, we have a man that is very versatile and very unique, and is more in the social media aspect of entertainment. Ghetto Kirk, welcome to Entertainment Weekly.
Hello, everybody.
Hoping all is well with you.
Yeah, man, everything good, man.
Give thanks. All right, so Kirk, we're going to start with, where were you born?
I was born in China.
Where exactly in China? As if I would know anyways, but where exactly in China?
Let's just say the south of China.
Okay. All right, and given that you're born in China, we expect you to actually have what we would consider a Chinese name. So what is your birth name?
My birth name is Jia.
Just that?
No, man, that's the first name. Jia Zhang. Zhang is the family name.
Okay, so Jia Zhang. So it's a pretty easy to pronounce name then.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so at what stage did you come to Jamaica?
I came here when I was 3 years old.
Is it a case where you were traveling back and forth or you just migrated full stop?
I just migrated here. My mom brought me over to Jamaica because my dad was employed as a chef at the time. So after he got employed as a chef over here in Jamaica, he worked for a year, saved his money, and made a deal with his boss to, help mom and I immigrate over here.
Okay, so like most families, the father made the first trad, paved the way, and then brought his family along.
Exactly so.
All right, so I know you were pretty young at that time, but if you can remember, was it a culture shock for you coming over to Jamaica?
Not at all, because at that time, I was always an adventurous kid, So everything new was exciting to me.
So it was just a new land with new discoveries.
Knew everything,
All right, so at that time, were you already able to speak English?
Not at all. I had to learn English while I was here. But, as a child, you pick up languages a lot easier.
Yeah, indeed.
So learning English wasn't really much of a challenge for me because from you hear it 1-2 times as a child, you just automatically remember it, So, can I say that now about the adult life?
So if you can remember, what was the first thing about Jamaica that grabbed your attention?
Earliest memory I had was with a patty. And yes, I think that was the first thing I ate when I came over here. My father basically just picked us up from the airport and said, we should try this. And then we went to the patty shop. At the time, we got a patty and a juice for less than $20.
Yep.
So that is the earliest memory I have.
I guess at that time you must have been saying, this Jamaica thing not going to be too bad after all.
Yo, from my belly full, me good enough.
All right, so where in Jamaica you grew up, Kirk?
I grew up in Ocherios at first. And then later on down in life, I moved to Kingston.
What was cool like for you in Jamaica as a Chinese youth that, probably there weren't a lot of Chinese based on where you were?
At the time, there was a small community, because my dad, as I mentioned, worked in a Chinese restaurant. He came here to work as a chef.
Right.
He worked alongside other Chinese chefs as well, who also, brought their family over. So, we had probably a little community of maybe 4 families or so growing up.
So,
but then I would integrate into the schooling system and, that's where I meet my Jamaican friends and all of that.
What were the things you were most interested in school?
In school, it was maths for me because maths was the easiest thing.
What about sports? Any sports?
No, sir. Every sports day I used to run and come last.
And back then there weren't any participation trophies or ribbons?
No, sir. Big 8th place me get. Big 8th place.
Well, you could say you're top 8 in the school.
In every race, I guess, that I could participate in.
All right, so moving on from school, what were the things you were interested in doing when you were leaving school? Did you have a particular part that you had in mind?
After high school?
Yeah.
high school was a confusing time for me, because the thing is, after high school was like I was aiming to go to university at first, but then I had a talk with my parents, and I wasn't really sure what career path I would have gone in and studied. So I figured, all right, you know what? Let me just put this school thing on park and try something else maybe.
Right.
And I figured, all right, if I go and go to school, pay for university, how much ever money, and then come out and then work for somebody, it no better me just start my own business and work for myself.
Makes some amount of sense.
Right. So that's how I started with the wholesale business.
Now, what was that like entering into that business, starting your thing at that young age?
It was stressful, not going to beat around the bush. It was pretty stressful because at the time when I started my first business, I was 17.
Yeah, that was pretty young.
17 years old. Started my own business. And because I knew how to run the business from my parents always dragging me to the store,
Right.
not giving me weekends. I could never stay home on weekends. My parents always dragged me to the store every Saturday. Every Saturday they would drag me to the store. After school, sometimes they pick me up and then take me to the store. I'll be there either cashing or selling the customers or packing the shelves. So I knew how the business was run.
Right.
But then being the spearhead of the business is a very different thing than being, just a worker in the business.
Yeah, being a part-timer is different from when it becomes your full-time day-to-day life.
Exactly. But then I think I handled it quite well, so it was all right. It was a good experience.
And I'm sure half of the people who came to the wholesale change your last name to Chin.
All the time. Even before the wholesale, from growing up here, it was just normal.
Seems like that's the only name people think about when they think about Chinese in Jamaica, Mr. Chin.
Pretty much. It's been standardized. It's been standardized to a point.
All right, so you're doing your thing and you're growing your business and thing. Fast forward now to... Well, before we even fast forward to the TikTok, how the name Ghetto Kirk came about?
The name came about when I was in downtown. So what happened was I would have, every store have them regular customers.
Right.
I had this regular customer that I would always sell when he comes into the store. And basically him just say, yo, I talk like a ghetto youth, I act like a ghetto youth, him just going call me Ghetto Kirk.
Was it
and
that you were
then
already...
from there, it just stick.
Was it that you were already being called Kirk?
Yeah, because Kirk is my English name.
Right, okay, so you just add the ghetto to what was already there.
Yeah.
And I guess
my customer just add ghetto to the name. And he's like, all right, your name Ghetto Kirk from now. I was like, why are you calling me that? At first, I was reluctant to it. I was like, why are you calling me that? I don't want to be called that. And then after a while, when somebody calls you something long enough, you start answering to it.
And in Jamaica, if you fight it, it only gets worse.
That was exactly what happened because I kept telling him, stop calling me this, stop calling me this. And then him just kept calling me. I was like, all right, fine. It stick.
No, so, all right, so the name came about. How did the TikTok thing start now?
The TikTok thing was just me being bored at work one day, to be honest. It was me being bored on a Wednesday. I think it was a Wednesday. It was a very slow day at work.
Were you still downtown at that point?
No,
Okay.
I'm in Spanish Town now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was bored on a Wednesday and I said, all right, you know what? Come and give this TikTok thing a try. And what happened on the day was this very rude lady came into my store and gave me beer attitude. and it was the same lady that I talked about who ordered the germs lotion.
Yeah, I think that's one of the more popular videos on your page.
Yeah, it's the first video I made.
Right. So what was the initial response to that video?
Why, I felt it was like 50-50 in a sense, maybe. Like lots of people liked it and then lots of people, found it like rubbed them wrong or something like that. So some liked it, some didn't like it, some just saw it for the comedy, and then some was like, you're being condescending to your customers.
But I think we all know somebody who would ask for the germs lotion. We all know
Yeah,
at least one
we know.
person like that.
Well, that's true. That's true. And the thing is, it's not like I was rude to the lady while she was in the store shopping with me or anything. It's like, you know what? It's very frustrating to deal with a rude customer. So I was venting when I was finished with her, selling her, and she left and everything. I was basically venting on TikTok.
All right. So after doing that first video and you saw that response, what led to you continuing?
I said, I'll go and give it a try to see how far it can go, really.
Right.
Because nothing ventured, nothing gained. And from continuously making content and making more and more videos, more opportunities have come my way. So I'm very thankful for that. And I see that it's going somewhere. So that's going to, motivate me to continue and keep pressing forward.
And of course, there's a story you told about your mom's response to you doing these TikTok videos.
Oh, yes.
Would you mind sharing with my audience?
She was not very fond of me doing TikTok because, all right, so I'm going to basically imitate the video that I did about her.
Right.
Right. So she found out about my TikTok and said, "Hiya, I tell him become doctor or lawyer. He no listen me. Now he do TikTok make people ha. All he need now is one big wet nose. Baka baka."
And I'm sure that story and that video must have got some good response as well.
Yeah, it did quite well. It did quite well. It got a lot of views.
You also spoke about people and their perception of what you should sound like based on how you look.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
even though you were born in China, you grew in Jamaica. By the way, have you been back to China since?
Yeah, I've visited my family a couple of times.
Right.
But most of my family is in China.
Okay. But most of your life has been in Jamaica. So even though you're born in China, you're a proper Jamaican to the point where I gather you no longer have a Chinese citizenship.
No, I don't. I gave up my Chinese citizenship before I turned a teenager to get Jamaican citizenship.
Which makes you a proper Jamaican and probably even more Jamaican than some people would think that you shouldn't sound the way you sound.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, so there's also other aspects of you in terms of fighting. Tell us about the fighting side of you.
Yeah, so, all right. Let's see. Where do I start? I've been training for I think 6 years now. I started off with Taekwondo. And after 3 years, I got my black belt. After I got my black belt, I decided to learn mixed martial arts. And then after, 3 years of training in mixed martial arts, I decided to take my first fight, which was September that just passed. And yeah, it was at Monique by the promotion RFL, Rough Fight League.
And how did that work out for you?
It was a very good experience. I enjoyed everything. I did not like the result because I didn't get the win. I got a draw. The judges ruled the fight a draw. And I had an injury on my right hand as well that I had to get surgery to fix. But I don't regret anything, I would do it all over again.
And I mean, a draw on your first fight is not really a bad result.
It's not a bad result, but I was really working for the win,
Well, if you're a winner at art, you're going to want to win.
Exactly.
So how serious are you about the fighting, and what's the next step, and where you're expecting to end up with the fighting?
Well, honestly, I'm not sure how far I'm going to get with it, right? Because I'm 34 right now, and fighting is a very young man's game,
Indeed it is.
It's a very young man's sport, so I want to get the experience, definitely. That is the main reason why I'm doing it, for the experience, so that, in the future, I will have attained that first-hand experience. So if I were to, become a coach, I would be able to, give my fighters insights that they wouldn't know or, wouldn't have experienced as yet because I've gone through it.
And funny that you just mentioned being a coach, because that's what I was just about to ask. Because based on your approach and what I've seen of you so far, I just got the feeling that you would be looking to maybe start in a gym or a dojo or getting into coaching or something of the sort.
Yeah, I actually teach beginners kickboxing in my spare time sometimes.
See?
Yeah, so I teach kickboxing in my spare time, and it's okay. It's going all right. I don't have like an official gym or anything, but I do train with my coach who has an official gym. So most of my time training is at the gym. But like if I were to teach somebody, I would either like go to their house or have them come over to my house, and we use like the garage space or anywhere we can find really.
But you seem to be a man who wasn't totally filled, because you seem to be doing a lot. I mean, between the business, which, pays the bills. The good thing with TikTok is that a lot of time you can do it while you're on the job and have some free time.
Yes.
But the training for yourself and then training somebody else takes up a lot of
It's a lot.
time.
It is a lot, trust me. It's a whole lot, because when I'm training someone from morning to night, it's going to be work. I open my store from 9 to 5. As soon as I close my store, I head out to training. Training starts at 5:30. I usually get there a little bit late, so like closer to 6 o'clock, and then I train until like 7 o'clock. From 7 o'clock, I get home, and then I train somebody for an hour. That's 8 o'clock already. After 8 o'clock, I shower, I eat my dinner, I go to my bed, I rinse and repeat over and over.
And it takes a lot of discipline to maintain that kind of regime.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
And I'm sure with the TikTok fame that is coming, people are trying to pull you in other directions as well.
Yeah, all kind of directions actually, which I'm open to exploring, because, for example, I got an acting role a couple months ago. It hasn't aired as yet, but I got an acting role, and I really like the acting experience.
Right.
And I wouldn't mind if, like, somebody else offers me a role to play. I'm up for that.
And who knows, maybe when it is finally aired, that will help to open some more doors in that aspect.
Yeah, exactly so. Maybe I could give up the wholesale life and become an actor. Who knows?
Well, maybe give it up in the sense of getting a manager to run it.
No, man. That if I were to go into acting full time, if I were able to, like, get the jobs and all of that stuff and secure my income that way, then I wouldn't mind giving up the store in terms of selling the business and just leaving it alone for now.
And who knows, maybe next time we talk, we'll be talking about your song. There's bound to be somebody who's trying to get into music as well.
I don't have a musical talent, honestly, I don't.
Well, there are many aspects to music. You can do voiceovers, you can add things to a song, you can just spice up a song.
That's true. I guess, yeah, I'm open to all options, As long as it's making the money, I'm open to all options.
Definitely. So for those who are maybe thinking about getting into TikTok, who haven't been into or getting into any other kind of social media thing, what advice would you have for them?
The first thing is be yourself. That is the most crucial thing, I would say. Be yourself, right? Because you might see other influencers doing their thing, and if you try to imitate that, you'll be a second class them. But if you be yourself, you'll be a first class you.
And it's always better to be the first you than the second somebody else.
Exactly. So that's one big advice I would give them. Always be yourself, try to be original the best you can, and make up your own content. Be different, be different. If you're just trying to be somebody else, not going to work out too well.
Now, for somebody who may say, at this point, TikTok doesn't pay this side of the world, so what's the sense of it from a business standpoint? What would you say?
Well, in Jamaica, you can do promotions. Right. So that's how I made some money off of TikTok by doing promotions for like companies or, even like sponsors, all kinds of stuff like that. That's how you would make money from TikTok in Jamaica. But like other countries, like the first world countries that are in the TikTok Creator Fund, TikTok pays them directly. So for us, if you build up a following on TikTok, then companies will reach out to you and then offer sponsorship or, ask you to do an ad for them, that kind of stuff.
And I'm sure you have entertainers and producers who would probably ask you to help promote the music as well.
Yes, as well. Some DJs have offered to pay me to use their song in one of my videos or, that kind of stuff.
So there are avenues there, and if you do your thing good and get the interest, there's avenues there for you to see the benefit.
Exactly. The game is get the attention and then monetize the attention.
And what about your business? Has it impacted on your business as well?
No, not really. It's a bit separate than the TikTok life. So my business, because I don't really advertise where my business is on TikTok or any social media, I don't really connect the two worlds in that sense. But people who see me in Spanish Town, they know it's me and they stop by and just say hi. Sometimes they're buying in my store and they realize, oh, it's Ghetto Kirk. I was like, yeah, hi.
And I'm sure some of those people will make your store their store going forward after realizing that it's you.
Yeah, pretty much. Some do come back, some don't,
Right.
It's like that. Just like every other business.
So for people who are hearing about it for the first time and want to go see these videos that we have been speaking about, how can they find you?
Well, they can find me on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. My name is Ghetto Kirk on all platforms. So for Instagram is Ghetto_Kirk. Instagram and TikTok is the same name, Ghetto_Kirk. And on YouTube, you can just search Ghetto Kirk and you'll find me all the same.
And for people who may want to do some business with you, are those the same mediums to contact you?
Yes, they can message me on my Instagram anytime.
Definitely, as I said, I've personally enjoyed the videos and I have no other people who have enjoyed them as well. So definitely looking for continued growth and greater steps for you.
Yeah, man, that's very good to hear. Thank you very much.
So Ghetto Kirk until we cross paths again. Ja blessings.
All right, bless up.
This has been Entertainment Weekly. Remember, love yourself, love your neighbor, pray your day, keep the devil away. And if you're new to Ghetto Kirk, go check out his content. It will be worth your time.
And open your eyes when you realize there is a divine. Forget all your